MassBlade, if you're listening to this.
The game has changed.
MassBlade. If MassBlade's not in here, someone tell him in game that I will make it my life's journey to hunt him down.
We're back, okay, looking good, more consistent videos, okay, I know, all right, I am trying, but we're back with the Scouter, Lost Ark, okay. Now this one is going to be a PvP build video, okay, PvP guide, all right, just like a really quick one, okay. I will be doing more like gameplay on PvP with like ranked and team elimination and stuff on my Scouter. In future videos I will be doing that. But right now I've been like doing a lot of PvE, doing the new Express event, trying to get my Scouter up to co, and like trying to build up his engravings, etc, etc. But yeah, I have been doing a lot of practice in the past 2 days. But yeah, this is the official meta build, okay, for Scouter. Okay, I'm going to show you guys exactly how you can build this class the right way, and what skills that are going to be used for like your burst window, and some skills that are going to be used for like your hard CC, you know, combos, etc, etc. Okay, and I will be showing like stat differentials and all that stuff. But yeah, now honestly, one thing straight off the bat, okay, with the Scouter class in PvP, spacing is everything. Okay, I cannot express this enough. Spacing is literally everything. Like, you have to space yourself with your opponent and the drone. Like, it's not even just focusing on where your opponent is and looking for an engage, you know, all the time. With this class, it's a bit different because you have to pay attention to where your drone is placed at all times. Because if you do not do this, sometimes your skills are going to have a delay between when the drone is going to activate the skill that you pressed, depending on the spacing that where your cursor is on where you place the skill, obviously, you know. So you got to pay attention to where you're placing your drone and where you're clicking your skills. Make sure you try to like bring your drone like in front of you a bit, and place yourself like in a really comfortable position to where you won't get hit by like a striker or like a really fast melee class that rushes in a lot. But anyway, you get the idea. Okay, so this is my preference for my stat guide, but you can change this and put like 249 domination and put 1 crit, or you can change this as well and put some specialization if you want. That is up to you. Okay, it really depends on how you want to play it, but I like the crit, but I'm gonna explain why I put crit instead of domination and specialization when I get there. But anyway, swiftness 750, that is an absolute must. Okay, most classes run swiftness in arena PvP anyway. You already know. You already know about this. But anyway, so 750 swiftness, and I put 250 crit full on. Okay, so anyway. But like I said, you can put specialization and you can put domination if you want. It's up to you. But yeah, these are your core skills that you want to run. Like, this is the most solid build that literally even Koreans would recommend to you. Like, this is the meta build right now. Okay, so, and this is the reason why I run crit. Now, if you guys don't know, the skill Command Baby Drones does a shit ton of damage. Like, I mean, a lot when it crits because of the green tripod. It gives 100% crit damage, and dude, when this crits, it does so much. But yeah, anyway, first skill tripod, mobile shot. solid maneuver, quickness with tenacity. Now you can switch tenacity with additional maneuver to get that extra roll if you want. That is up to you. But for a more consistent build, tenacity is always a must. Like you cannot go wrong with tenacity. Okay, it is so good for staying safe and keeping away from melees and not getting knocked up and getting chain CC'd. But anyway, it's up to you. Backflip strike, again, absolute must. Okay, this skill, like I said, gets you out of tight spots. Okay, easy escape. You can even run tenacity on it. You cannot go wrong. Okay, for example, when melees try to jump on you, use this skill, get the hell out of there. Not that hard. Okay, this is why backflip strike is so good. Like, you have to run this. Now I will show alternative skills that you can replace, and I have seen other scouters use that actually can be useful. But like I said, this is the core meta build right here. This is the best one. I have definitely looked at every single skill on the tree, but this is like the best one, I would say, for my playstyle. But this is also what Koreans recommend too. So this is the high-end build that you want to run. Now, high voltage bullet, you can swap this with overcharged battery, but high voltage bullet comes out a lot quicker and it's shorter cooldown. So you definitely want to run high voltage bullet. It's easier to combo as well. So quick prep with powerful electrocution, easy combos. You do not have to put this level 10, don't worry about that. And then you also have command flare beam. Now this skill also, it is kind of a must, but honestly, in my opinion, right, you can replace the skill with like overcharged battery as well. Now I will show the skill showcase later, but yeah. So Scar, freezing beam, laser cut. Now you can swap laser cut with laser show if you want, but I personally go for laser cut because it goes in a more vertical direction at a faster pace. Also, it has 60% extra damage, and damage is very important in PvP in arena, so you definitely want to run this. Now, for example, I will show like the differences between the two skills, so you guys can like see them for yourselves and see the differences. But yeah, laser cut in my opinion is way better. But the other one isn't that bad either. It also has a more wider range, so you can trap your enemies in the freeze more consistently. But like I said, if you want to go for a more distant game, laser cut is better, because laser show takes a little bit of time to like get that vertical direction that I want for my playstyle. So that's just my preference, but you can use laser show. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Now moving on to baby drones. Okay, now guys, I cannot express this skill enough. Okay, when this skill crits, it is your holy grail of damage. Trust me. This is why I do not spec domination or specialization, because you're not going to be in the suit most of the game anyway. So you definitely want to have that more consistent DPS, if you know what I mean. So having crit in your stats is actually really nice because of this one skill here, especially. Now, when this skill crits, because of the tripod Thunder Baby, this tripod is so good because of the 100% extra crit damage. Dude, like, you definitely want to make sure you land the skill within your combos. Do not miss. You can run the tripod all out war as well, but because of the hitbox of the other one, it's more consistent in terms of hitting. Like, you could be in a very tight situation where you just want to throw out a skill sometimes because you're panicking or whatever. So you would definitely want to have that more bigger AoE hitbox. The damage differences are not that bad as well, so you definitely want to run that skill with those tripods. But anyway, you can run all out war if you want. It's not a bad tripod, but I'm just saying this goes for my playstyle. But anyway, raid missile. Okay, battery discharge, volley of missiles, and large missile. Now, guided missile, you want to use this for 1v1. So for team elimination, guided missile is the tripod you want to go for. So that is the only differences between ranked PvP builds and team elimination build, is these tripods right here. So for 1v1, you want to change it to guide missile, and then for ranked and deathmatch or whatever, you switch it back to the volley. But Anyway, because Volley, it literally pierces through your opponents, so it has more of a better chance of hitting multiple enemies, if you know what I mean, to get that more AoE damage. But with the guided missile, it only hits one target. Now that is the problem. That's why you don't want to use this tripod for ranked, etc. Okay, so anyway, it also does some really good damage too. You can just use it like as like a, like you can see the differences right here. Like for example, when you use it in like a certain direction, it has like this nice homing mechanic, so it makes you less likely to miss. Not to mention, it also knocks up your opponent to get that extra CC. So that's what's really good about guided missile in 1v1. But yeah, you do not want to use this tripod in ranked. Okay, so anyway, now Annihilation mode, you can use this, but I will go more into these skills later on in the next part of the video. But yeah, you can use Annihilation mode. It's not really that bad. It also has a freezing hard CC as well with crossfire tripod. But yeah, it does a pretty decent amount of damage, but I wouldn't recommend using it over backflip strike or the laser beam to freeze or the missile or baby drones or any of these other skills. I would not recommend it, but it is up to you. You know, if you feel like you want to run this skill for your playstyle, go for it. I wouldn't tell anyone to not run it, you know, because it is a good skill. But I'm just saying, remember, go for the playstyle that is best suited for you. That is like the best thing I can tell you in terms of advice. Like honestly, it just is. But yeah, I'll get more into these types of skills afterwards with like alternative skills you can use in your build. Okay, now fiery escape. Excellent mobility, high flyer, and emergency protection. Now, this skill is an absolute must. Okay, very good for gaining distance. Very, very good for just getting out of there. You know, getting that extra protection. Like you cannot go wrong with this skill. It is so good. But yeah, honestly, especially in ranked as well, when people are chasing you, you definitely want to have like backflip strike, mobile shot, you know, and fiery escape. Like you want to have that good mobility skill list, you know, so you can definitely use them to get out of situations so you do not get comboed and take a lot of damage, especially when you run tenacity on a mobile shot, just to have that more extra safe window, you know, so you don't get interrupted as well, and you can use it to just roll out of there, you know, and run away. The good thing is that you also get move speed with this skill as well, with mobile shot. So yeah, it's really good for just getting out of situations. Fire escape is actually really quick. You just zip in a straight line. You can use the other tripod if you want. The long flight, you can use this as well, but yeah, it's a bit slower, so that's why I do not use this tripod. But you can use it for like a little combo window, you know, if you want to like paralyze your opponent a bit longer. If you want, like, you can do like a bit of mix-ups, but I prefer high flight because, you know, it's just for my playstyle. But anyway, but this is what people run as well, like high-end PvP players. Okay, now energy buster. Now skill defender, this tripod absolute must. Okay, you literally cannot switch this. Flame buster, and you also want to run meltdown. Okay, now you can run lightning buster, for example. Now since I'm running a crit build, this is why I go for flame buster for me personally, but it's also nice because you get the extra damage as well, and the extra damage over time, so it is more consistent damage, so it is nice. You can run tenacity, but since it's such a long range skill, you should be safe in terms of distance anyway, so this is why I do not run tenacity. You do not need push immune on this skill. It's not really that important. You definitely want to go for more damage because you can use this skill in a really nice combo window. So yeah, so definitely it's very nice to have meltdown. Meltdown does so much damage. But yeah, you can use railgun as well. Railgun, honestly, it's a bit of a weird one. Like railgun, it's not bad, you know, like it's not a bad tripod, but I just prefer meltdown. Meltdown, you have that more longer window to like hurt your opponents, and people could walk into it as well. So you have that longer knock up. and it does more consistent damage because it's 80%. It does so much. Meltdown is so good, and since you have skilled defender, you don't have to worry about the overcharge, so you still get the overcharge damage even though it's not charged up. You know, you do it so quick and you still get that big overcharge damage, which is so good with this tripod. Like, so for PvP, you definitely want to throw this skill out really quickly. You can also use it to snipe your opponents in ranked PvP or in elimination. You know, if you play well enough, you can just use it and snipe someone. Like, honestly, it's really good. But I'm showing Lightning Buster right here, like to show like that more consistent crit rate, if you know what I mean. With the crit build, you do crit a lot more, but I just prefer Flame Buster because you have that more consistent damage window. And since I run crit anyway, this skill does have a better chance of critting, so that's why I run Flame Buster. But anyway, but yeah, it is purely up to you guys, you know, how you guys want to run this skill. But yeah, definitely goes to preference, but I just prefer the flame version. You know, it's really nice. That damage over time sometimes can end your opponent if they're on like a little bit of low HP. You know, it's really nice to have damage over times in arenas. But yeah, like I said, like those are like the two different. You can see like the more there's like 2 more ticks of crits when I run Lightning Buster. You know, it's not that much more of a big deal. You know, if you really like, you know, if you really see the differences, like it's whatever. But yeah, you know, like I said, preference. But yeah, anyway, but yeah, baby drones, dude, this skill is crazy. That does so much damage. Like, honestly, when you combo it into Energy Buster, dude, these 2 skills alone, when you just land them and they do a little bit of crit as well, bro, that is like 50%, more than 50% of the enemy's HP just gone, like with that one combo. It is so insane. But anyway, let me show you guys like the combo. So electrocution into baby drones into energy buster. This is like the core combo you want to pull off. Okay, now remember your engaged skill, mobile shot, is a paralysis / stagger type of skill. So if someone has paralysis immunity or push immunity, you will not stagger them. So you have to be very careful and try like a different approach if this does not work. So you can use the laser to freeze them into energy buster as well. This also works. But yeah, it really depends on what your opponent is doing. You know, try and read the situation and then you go for an engage, you know. Oh, and guys, remember what I said at the start of the video about spacing. Okay, this is very important with this class, because the fact that you can command the drone without any consequence, like you can literally just move it towards the enemy team when you're playing ranked right at the beginning of the match, and then just scare your enemies, you know, just because they don't know when you're gonna press a skill, they don't know when like the drone's gonna shoot something out. So you can literally use this as a bait to make them use their like mobility skills, their dashes and stuff, you know, ease your way in and go for an engage. Like, trust me, you can do some really big mix-ups with this class. You can literally just command the drone forward, scare them and bait their movement skills, and then just do a dash and then go for high voltage and then use the electrocution, you know, and then just start off any combo with that. Like, literally, you can just do any mix-up and just try and like bait them, you know. There's so many options with the drone that you can do to play like these mind games, which is really cool. And the fact that the drone cannot die in PvP, like it literally just cannot get attacked, you know, it's literally invulnerable. So you literally have nothing to lose, you know. Just move your drone in front of you at all times, so then you can get that that spacing between you and the drone, and then you can literally command the drone to like do a freeze beam or baby drones or missiles or whatever, you know, to like try and get that early damage off that little cheap shot, you know, if you know what I mean. But yeah, you have so many options, bro. Like, you can even do high voltage into the ult as well, like into the big explosion. You definitely want to run this ult as well, by the way, because it's more consistent and it does more damage as well. It's really easy to pull off. It has really nice AoE hitbox. But yeah, these are like the most basic combos. With Hypersync mode, one mistake you do not want to use is Laser Blade without an engage option. So for example, you do not want to use the skill Laser Blade without Comet Strike beforehand, or your dash beforehand. because you lose the 20% extra damage window, which is less damage. So you just don't want to do this. You know, that's just a mistake. So that's like one of the mistakes you do not want to use when you're doing hypersync mode. But yeah, it's really easy to combo with this form, in my opinion. Literally almost everything CCs. Like, it's so crazy. Like, honestly, it's actually insane. The AoE hitbox is massive. Like, you cannot go wrong in this mode. So honestly, you don't have to worry about anything. You're perma paralysis immune as well when you're in the suit. So this is a big win for PvP. It's really good. You're also in perma shield as well. So dude, you're good to go, bro. Like, trust me, you could just go in and just go meleeing, bro. Just go savage. Like, dude, such a good class. Like, honestly, I see why this class is high tier on the tier list for PvP in ranked. Honestly, I do see it. Even in 1v1, this class is really high tier. It's actually really good. It has so many versatile options. You know, you're not just stuck to doing one playstyle or like playing very predictable or linear. You know, with Scouter, you have so many options. Okay, so let's go into alternative skills that you can use in your build, such as Overcharged battery, Annihilation mode, Strategic fire as well. I've seen people run this. You can use this skill. It does a pretty decent amount of damage, has some good range. You know, it's pretty quick. You do have other options, but yeah, Overcharged battery is actually a good skill because you can literally just throw it really far, and it has a really big AoE hitbox, and it has a good stun window. So hard CCs are really good in my opinion. You know, you cannot go wrong with having more of this, but obviously you want to keep as much DPS as possible. You do have the other tripod option where it makes the grenades like go around you and stuff, and it has like this paralysis hitbox. It's pretty good, you know, because it can prevent melees from charging into you and comboing you to death. But I mean, I don't really see much of a point of using this. I mean, that's what backflip strike is for, you know, to get away from melees and space yourself away, have that tenacity armor, the push immune, so then you can have a window to escape. You know, that's why I run backflip strike. It is just, dude, that skill is a absolute must. You literally cannot take this shit off, like, honestly. But Overcharged battery is nice. You can use this. Okay, so strategic fire. You can replace the raid missiles with strategic fire. You can do this, but honestly, I wouldn't recommend it. But like I said, in terms of your playstyle, so if you like using the gun more instead of the drone, you can use strategic fire. Same with Annihilation mode. You can use this. Like, honestly, you know, it really depends on your playstyle. Like I said, if you like using the submachine gun more for your playstyle, then strategic fire is a really good option to use. You can use Annihilation mode as well, like I said. And the thing is that Annihilation mode actually has a hard CC, which it freezes your opponent as well, which is actually really good. Now, the skill Command Active Pulse. Now, this is a tricky one because it does not have push immunity or paralysis immunity, so it is a very unsafe option. But you can just use it when you're away from your enemy, you know, just to shield yourself. You can use it in very different ways. You can even use it to like CC your opponent and knock them in the air. It has a really good pull hitbox, which is really cool. And I'll show that right now, which is right here. So you can see he gets pulled in, and then he just gets lifted up into the air. So it's really good. It's actually not a bad skill. You can use this. So like I said, you can space the drone in front of you, and then just place it where like multiple of your enemies are, and then just put it right in the middle, use it, pull them together, explode, boom, and they just get launched into the air. Like, you can use it as a CC option as well. Like, it's a good skill, it's not bad. And you can also use it for a shield option, like I said, and you can even get more stacks of it, which is actually really good. Now, Annihilation mode, now as you can see, does pretty decent damage. It is pretty good. Like I said, you can use this. Not a bad skill at all. Like, honestly, you can run Annihilation mode. It is pretty good. Because I do use this skill for PvE as well. But honestly, yeah, it's actually pretty decent. And the fact that it hard CCs them when they get hit like for a few times is actually really nice. But yeah, you get what I mean. So those are like some alternative skills you can use for this class. But like I said, play the skills that are best suited for your playstyle, and you will eventually get really good at the class. Like, just go for what you feel is best for you. You know, that is the one thing I have to say for sure. But the skills I showed in my build are the best, like, safest and consistent options. That is like the meta build skills that even top tier Koreans use, you know. So dude, I see why they use it though, because okay, now I'm gonna say this as well. If you have played the class Sharpshooter, you will know that the playstyles are a bit similar, you know, in terms of like range and spacing, you know, and using the push immune skills for when melees come close to you and stuff. It is pretty similar, but it's like with Scouter, it's like Sharpshooter but with a twist, if you know what I mean. You know, because obviously you have the drone options, which is very different from like shooting arrows all the time. You know, it's very different, trust me. And you also have Hypersync mode, which is something else entirely. But yeah, you get the point. But yeah, in terms of like combos and stuff, I really do prefer Scouter's combos. This class is really good. I really love Energy Buster as well, really big range. But yeah, I hope this video helps, and that's all I have for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Yeah, I will show like more ranked games and team elimination matches on my Scouter when I get the time, and I will record some footage of me doing PvP and stuff later on. But yeah, anyway, I hope you enjoyed. This has been your boy MassBlade here, and I will see you guys next time. Alright, peace.
MassBlade.
I am the chosen one. I have been chosen to rule this planet.